Everybody, welcome back to Mission Human Excellence. This is episode 4, and it's been a little bit since I recorded an episode because, well, life is happening. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to publish too much of anything. But if you know me personally, you know what had happened in my life recently, and it's been a blessing. It's been a big blessing in my life. A lot of changes as well, just to get used to the new environment with everything that's happening. But regardless, it's been great. I couldn't thank the Lord enough for blessing me with this, and it's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing with this change, right? This life changing event that really happened. I don't want to talk too much about it either, just because I do want to keep this off the internet to myself and to the people close to me. But with that, it is also because of this same event that a lot of these self-limiting conversations have been coming up. God has provided us plenty, right? He continues to provide for us, and the things that we are working on, we're doing, it's enough. It's enough for us to get our mouth fed and have a little more, right? But at the same time, I also understand that in order for us to be good Christians, we gotta, obey what God has talked to us about. And He's here telling me that I gotta do this mission, human excellence, to be the exemplification of human excellence. And I haven't been doing that. And the reason why I've been doing that is a little bit of self-doubt, a little bit of fear. When I say a little bit, it doesn't mean a little bit. I just mean there's fear and there's self-doubt between me and obeying what God's command is for me. Now, that self-doubt doesn't come from anywhere else besides myself, right? That self-doubt doesn't come from anywhere else but from within myself. So in order for me to get rid of that, there's a lot of internal work that I need to do. And self-doubt is not new to anybody. I'm sure you've experienced self-doubt. If you've never experienced self-doubt, I'll probably, have you talk to a psychologist or a psychiatrist because there's something wrong with you, right? So there's self-doubt happens to everybody. Everybody experiences it. It's part of the human experience. But what self-doubt does, it's not productive. Number one, God can't use self-doubt to do anything. It's typically what the enemy want us to think when God has given us a God-sized mission for us to do, right? For example, for me, continuing to do this mission, human excellence, has been, that God-sized mission for me. And the God-sized mission basically, have me to create content like this, read the Bible more, right? So I can relay the message of the Bible to you. And and as I was reading today in Exodus, we all know the Moses story, right? Moses crossing the Red Sea. We all know Moses is in the desert for 40 years. He led the Israelites to freedom. But did you know he suffered tremendously with self-doubt too? And in many different ways, there's all the people inside of who we think are heroes, who we think are, they're unstoppable, they're fearless. They probably experience the same things. Now, Moses is good, one of them. In Exodus 4, it says, "What if they do not believe me or listen to me, and say the Lord did not appear to you?" That's self-doubt. What if they don't believe me? Well, you haven't even gone to them. Like, what do you mean? What if anything happens? It's your self-limiting belief. That's part of self-doubt, part of fear, right? So Moses fears. This is the first time. The second time he said to the Lord, he said, "Pardon your servant," in verse 10. "I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I'm slow of speech and tongue." Now he's making excuses. He's saying he can't talk well. He can't communicate well. But God called him to go and do the things that God needed him to do, right? But he's the one that's saying, "Oh, I don't know, I can't talk well, so I don't know if I can do it." But God give you the mission. God knows that you can do it. And there's definitely things that we gotta conquer within ourselves, so God can work on us while we're working on the mission. But at the same time, we gotta understand, once we obey God's command, the growth is gonna happen. The growth is gonna happen once we just keep going. You're gonna learn through the different stages of your journey. And I was on a call earlier today and talked about the hero's journey. And what the hero's journey is essentially, you're the character. You meet, you gain a certain skill. You meet an enemy, and you don't know. You have a call in your life. I don't know if you could do it. Do all that stuff. And a mentor comes into your life, and you defeat the enemy that you've been so fearful of defeating, whether it's within yourself or external, and you become a hero. Right? That's your hero's journey. But on that hero's journey, you realize, like, no hero that we connect to, right? No hero that us human beings connect to just has crazy amount of superpowers and doesn't struggle at all, right? I watched a Superman movie one time. I fell asleep probably like 4 or 5 times. I watched a Spider-Man movie. I was hooked the whole time because I related to Spider-Man. See, when he got bit by the radioactive spider, he didn't want that power. But with great power comes great responsibility. My wife didn't laugh at me. You connect to that, right? And there's emotional stories, there's up and downs, there's left and rights, there's turns within the hero's journey. Instead of just you're Superman, you're super, you can do whatever you want anytime you want, right? It's just kind of boring. Same thing with Captain Marvel. She can do whatever she wants. Okay, cool, great. Anything you struggle with? How can I relate to you, right? So Moses, in verse 10, he said he's slow of speech. And Moses, in verse 13, he straight up goes, "Pardon your servant, Lord. Please send someone else." You got the wrong guy, Lord. Lord, you got the wrong guy. Nah, that ain't me, bro. God, I can't do that. What you talking about? You're crazy. God's not crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy for thinking small of yourself. You're crazy for not thinking that you can do what God told you to do. You're crazy for not having enough faith in him so he can guide you to do the things that he needs to do. No, God's not crazy. You're crazy. God's not crazy. I'm crazy for thinking my gifts are so small that God can do anything with it. God's not crazy. I'm crazy for thinking I'm not good enough, so God can do anything with me who is not good enough. Right? That's what Moses is saying too. I can't do it. I can't talk well. What if they don't believe me? Can you just send somebody else, please? Can you please send somebody else? I think you got the wrong guy, God. God didn't get the wrong guy. God got you to do the certain things that you need to do for him, for the kingdom. And that thing is going to scare you, and that's normal. And that thing is going to be uncomfortable, and that's how it's supposed to feel. And that thing is nowhere close to, for you to think you can do it, right? I can't do the things God asked me to do. That's why I had to lean on God to do the things that he asked me to do. So, thank you for listening. A little bit of self-doubt is not a bad thing, but understand that self-doubt is when we start relying too much on ourselves. When we doubt ourselves, we got to understand that we have a Lord that is way bigger, way stronger, way better, and it doesn't matter what it is that's going to throw at us, as long as we lean to the infinite wisdom, the infinite strength, and the infinite power of our Lord. everything is possible. In Him, all is possible. So I just want to share that little tidbit with you guys. It's something I've been experiencing. It's something I'm breaking through right now. And, I think self-doubt is normal. But I also think when we experience self-doubt, we got to do something about it. We got to pray about it. We got to pray through it. And we got to, read the Bible and take in the wisdom that we need to take in so we can break through our self-doubt. And stop putting me at the center of all of my thoughts. That's also another thing. Like to get rid of self-doubt, you gotta stop thinking about me. I gotta thinking about what God wants me to do. And I think about the people who God has me to bless, right? And start thinking about all the things that outside of me. Because, at the end of the day, like, our flesh is supposed to die. We're supposed to die to our flesh every day, right? Like, things outside of me is going to continue to be the things that drive us to go outside of our comfort zones. So, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. This is episode 4. And thank you for listening. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. This is a new channel, so it means a lot that you're doing that. And till next time. Peace.